Hey everybody, we are the Jersey Comic Crew, and right now we are talking about everything you need to know before reading Dark Knight's Death Metal. We'll see you in there.
Hey guys, Rob and Chris here from the Jersey Comic Crew, and we're giving you the story beats that you should know before reading Dark Knight's Death Metal. There's a lot of stuff from the great big new event from DC, and it might be a little intimidating, but we're going to break down all the things you need to know before jumping into that book. So Chris, we can't talk about Death Metal without talking about Dark Knight's Metal, right? So
yes.
Dark Knight's Metal was a previous comic book storyline that happened by the creative team of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. This took DC's essentially multiverse and turned it on its side. We learned that there is a dark multiverse underneath the multiverse that we know, and that a dark, evil Batman-like king of Barbados was coming to our universe to kill and destroy everybody. He comes and he brings along his goon of evil Batmen. So there's the one from all these different Earths that represent different superheroes. So there was the Batman Doomsday, one where there's a Flash, and they kind of take out each other to try to stop this, all with the development of the Batman Who Laughs is the big character that's introduced, which is Batman who gets beaten by the Joker and essentially becomes the Joker.
That was about 2 years ago, so that was like the big start, as Rob just said, of this kind of Dark Knight's Metal movement from DC. We kind of thought that was the last step, but no, there's a bunch of these kind of tie-in series that fall into it as well. If any of you big comic fans recall a series that came out a couple months ago called Flash Forward, and it was supposed to be this 6-issue miniseries of kind of just where Wally West has been in the DC universe this whole time, how he was kind of forgotten in Rebirth. Everyone was like screaming with pitchforks, and then up to where him and Barry kind of reconnect and he remembers him, and kind of everything in between. So this series is really about Wally still searching for his family, doesn't know why his family's out there. He's going through this test by kind of one of this overworldly mystic figures, one of these beyond characters in the universe. And it ends up with Wally getting the Mobius chair.
Yes.
Getting partial Dr. Manhattan powers while finding his family and reconnecting with them. And it's kind of this crazy 6-issue ride that doesn't really end with a clear-cut answer, but it definitely ties in later on to Death Metal. So we just wanted to mention that on top of it.
So that's right. Chris said Dr. Manhattan. Doomsday Clock was another event where the Watchmen characters crossed over into the DC world and they became one. And we found out that Dr. Manhattan has been in the DC universe for many, many years. And during that book, he does die and his energy gets re-released into the cosmos. So that's how Wally West and the Mobius chair get some of that energy. And like Chris was saying, Wally West was missing in the whole of DC continuity because he was lost and forgotten. Essentially, in the real world, he was written out and Barry was put back into place. And there was some weird business side things of whether Wally West should come back or not. But now he is back. And that brings us to Scott Snyder's Justice League run. So this is the next big pedal to the metal for the Dark Knight's Death Metal event. We already saw the introduction of the Batman Who Laughs from the Dark Knight's Metal. In the Justice League run, we get this character called Perpetua. Perpetua was this character who was locked behind the quote-unquote Source Wall. The Source Wall was destroyed in Dark Knight's Metal in order to defeat Barbados. Now, doing so, that released Perpetua, who is the mother of the Anti-Monitor, the Monitor, and the Forger. Those are the three beings that created the known multiverse as we know it as readers. Some of you may be familiar with these characters. You know, one's good, one's bad, one creates the world, right? They kind of dictate it.
It's like Hephaestus.
Exactly. She's in charge of all of them. And what she wants to do, we find out in this run, that she wants to essentially destroy the multiverse, remake it in her own image in order to prepare herself to fight off the Hand. Essentially, the Hand is the one who creates it all. So essentially the god of the gods, I guess. They keep getting crazier like Dragon Ball Z with Super Saiyan and God and stuff like that. So, again, I know it's a lot, but new character Perpetua, who is the mother of the people who created the multiverse, is trying to destroy us, to recreate us, to create an army, to fight off the Hand, who's supposed to wipe everything out because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing.
That's always the case, isn't it?
Mhm.
And last but definitely not least, the final thing we wanted to talk to you guys about before getting into death metal is a mini series called Year the Villain, Hell Arisen. And it was 4 issues. It was something I wasn't even like gonna pick up, and then Mike from Manifest, shout out to Mike,
Yeah.
was like, no, this is gonna be key. Make sure you read this. And it was 4 issues of basically Lex Luthor trying to find trying to find a way to open the totality. And it was this doorknob that he's had since the beginning of Justice League and Snyder's run. And we thought it was almost gonna click into something, like, oh, it's almost like a key. It's like the opposite, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying to find a way to open it. He's got the Legion of Doom by his side, which we saw also in Justice League. And we also get something that we weren't expecting in this miniseries. Him and Martian Manhunter have a very intricate backstory.
Yes.
Of when Martian Manhunter came to Earth as the last Martian, he's like a kid. It's not like how we saw in, Justice League, the animated series, where he's an adult. He's a kid. He gets captured by Lex's father and LexCorp. And Lex is kind of like his only friend, but also Lex is being groomed to take over this company and shows how much his father's influence is within him. So they had this intricate backstory where they were kind of friends in the beginning, and unbeknownst to, which was odd to the Justice League, no one knew except for John Jones. So that does play a role later on. But yeah, that's kind of the main census of what Rob and I just told you guys. These are the main stories if you want to read Dark Knight's death metal. I don't know about you, Rod. I would say obviously read Dark Knight's metal, the original.
Yes. I mean, my thing is, obviously, I would recommend read all of Dark Knight's metal, flash forward, read the Scott Snyder Justice League run, read the Year of the Villain. They're all good stories on their own, a lot of fun, and it builds up to this event. Some of you might not want to. If you missed it, you just want to jump on the new stuff. You can, but that's why we created this kind of video, to kind of give you a crash course on your pre-Dark Knight's death metal. And guys, stay tuned, because in a couple of days, we're releasing another video. We're going to talk about Dark Knight's death metal. We're going to do a review of it, the things we liked about it and the things we did not. And of course, we're going to give it that grade, because everything gets graded. And we hope to see you there. And now, drop a comment down below if you've read any of these events. Are you ready for the death metal book? If you haven't, I'm curious to hear.
And guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Give us a thumbs up, really helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you're brand new. Like Rob said, you don't want to miss any future videos. We're breaking down death metal. We're going to talk about the aftermath as well of what's going on in DC Universe. And as always, I'm Chris, that's Rob. We're the Jersey Comic Crew. Thank you so much for watching.